This, if you make about 16 tamales, which is not very much, 2/3 of a cup of shortening. You can use lard, but we all know that's bad. 2 cups of, it's called masa harina, and usually just make sure it says tamales, because sometimes people mix up the masa that you make tortillas with. Make sure it's this for tamales. Para tamales, for tamales. And you need corn husks. They're only a couple of dollars, and you get a gazillion of them in there. This doesn't have very many because they're all in the sink. If you come over here, soaking in hot water. Soak the corn husks in hot water 10 or 15 minutes, and you can pull them apart, because once your filling is ready, the meat that you use, you're going to put some on here and roll it up and tie the ends. Cut. Broil it for 15 minutes on each side. Those are boneless, skinless chicken breasts. And I'm going to use 2 more, so I'm going to use 5 total. So I'm making lots of tamales. Since it's such a process, you might as well make a lot, because you can freeze them and just steam them or nuke them when you want to eat them. What's the cat's name? El Tigre!
I'm gonna say.
Huh? And after 15 minutes of broiling your chicken breasts on one side, flip them over. Oh, look, I got a tan. In the meantime, look how tan I got. I use tongs, but Andre likes to use, Senor Bravo likes to use a fork. Oh, he's going to add a little bit of Goya adobe seasoning. These are already seasoned, but he's going to season them a little more. These were marinated, yes. Tell them how they were marinated.
It was marinated in cooking oil, salt and pepper, and Goya seasoning salt.
Overnight.
Overnight. Better it's overnight.
Okay. And then you're going to cut 2 onions.
No need to start crying. There's a couple techniques you can use. Some say if you soak it in cold water before you start dicing them up, they'll cut back on the tears.
We're going to chop them, not dice.
And we're chopping these?
Yeah.
Chopping. So we're chopping away.
And once your chicken's cool enough to handle, just slice it into kind of thick pieces so you can cube it. And then, those are the size of the cubes. And then I like to pull it apart. Just squeeze them. It just cooks better, and you don't have giant chunks of chicken in your tamales. And I like to add jalapeno pepper to my mixture, my filling for the tamales. Just dice it and add that, you know, with your onion, and it has all the juice and seeds and whatnot in there. This is a canned jalapeno, and then sometimes the canned ones come with carrots that are sliced and onions they're all marinated in a spicy marinade. I use those carrots too, whatever's in that can. I think it's I can't think of the brand, but it's a green little can, and it's got these, and they're already cooked. Just chop them up and put them in. Smaller pieces are better, especially if you have gringos eating your tamales, because if they get a giant bite full, that's gonna send them over the edge. Okay. When your pepper's done and your onions are chopped, then it's ready for you to heat up your oil, a little bit of oil in a skillet that's big. Once the oil is at medium heat, put all of it in together. And then I'm going to add some of this. I like enchilada sauce that makes gives it a little flavor to the chicken mixture. By the way, you can do this with beef or pork. It doesn't have to just be, it doesn't have to be chicken. We're just using chicken because that's all we have today. So I started sauteing the onions and my jalapeno and my chicken. As soon as the onions turn translucent, I'm going to add the shredded chicken. And then I'm going to add a little bit of my enchilada sauce. And then I'm done with the mixture that goes in the filling of the tamales. And I'm all ready here for my masa to be mixed and ready to put some on the tamale husk, the corn husks. Now that my onions and my jalapenos are sauteed in the oil for a little bit, it's ready to add my shredded chicken. Shout out my shredded chicken. The chicken's all shredded and ready to go into the big mix. Now I'm just blending the chicken into the onion and jalapeno just to get a good flavor, and I'm going to add a little bit of this. Get a shot of this can. This is just enchilada sauce. Let's put a little bit in. You don't want it creamy. Just for flavor. I could probably add a little bit more, but that looks pretty good. Like I said, you can use beef or pork instead of the chicken. Usually tamales are made with pork. And just let those flavors simmer. I'm going to add a little bit of more sauce. I'm going to turn the heat down. It's a little simmer. Alright. You can take your husks out. And I'm just going to put them on a towel here to soak up some of the excess water. But as you use them, you can always dab them with a paper towel. And they're nice and limp, which makes it easy to roll. Now I'm going to make the masa. The masa is the cornmeal that you spread on here just like you're making a sandwich. You spread the masa on here like maybe 1/4 inch thick, and then that's ready for you to put a dollop of your meat mixture in there once it's cooked. And that's all there is to making tamales. You roll it up and you steam them.
Keep going.
Oh. I doubled my recipe, so I instead of using 2 cups of masa harina, I used 4 cups. And then you want 4 cups of liquid. I used a little bit of chicken broth for flavor, and then I'm just going to add enough more liquid to be 4 cups. And you want it to be lukewarm. And before I put the liquid and the shortening in there, I want to put my salt and my baking powder in there and then mix that up. Just use the other end of this for now. Mix that. That's the salt and the baking powder. And then you're going to add the liquid. And you're going to stir that up. Well, it gets kind of mealy. Once it gets mixed in, then the last thing you do is add the shortening. So now all the masa and the liquid is mixed together. It looks kind of mealy like that, and that's how it should look. You're going to add all of your shortening. Mine is double 2/3. I couldn't calculate what's 2/3. So instead I just did 2/3 twice. This is the fun part. Make sure your hands are clean and don't have any jewelry on. Well, you can, but it's not going to be easy to clean. And just fold it. Now this is about the consistency that you want for your masa, so it doesn't stick to your hands too much. You know, kind of like cookie dough. Take one of your corn husks, pat it dry if it has any moisture on it still. Lay that flat. Get a big ball of masa. Press it down onto the husk. You can get real close to the edge that's next to you because you're going to roll from here, but you want to make sure you have a lip here with at least 1 inch. And don't go too close to the ends because that's where you got to tie it. So you don't want any masa in there. This is a pretty thick one. Take a little bit out. I'm going to put my filling in there. A little bit more. Right in the middle. I'm going to roll it up. Roll it like you're rolling a burrito. You want to tuck this edge that's close to you in so you don't have masa here. And don't force it because this will tear really easily. I did that because I have enough room. And just roll it tight. Keep tucking under. Roll and roll. Now you just want to tie the ends together. I have my strips ready. Tie that up. And the other edge or end. Tie that up. Oops. And we've got a good looking tamale ready to steam. These are all ready to steam. I already am steaming 12. That's all that fits in my steamer. So as soon as those are completely done, I'm going to put these in. Or I might just put these in the refrigerator and steam them tomorrow. It's up to you. Depends on how much time you have. Aren't they cute? Like little corn husk dolls. Here's our tamales steaming. You can steam for an hour. And then if you've made more than 12, which I hope you have, and here's the ones that aren't cooked yet. Once those are done, put those in. Steam those for an hour. Or put them in the refrigerator. Wait till tomorrow if you don't have time. And steam those for an hour tomorrow. Trying to get my glass out. And then when you're done steaming, let them cool off for about 15 minutes. And then you're going to take the ties off, unroll the husk, and it's ready to serve. Put a dollop of sour cream on that, and hot sauce if you like, and maybe some cilantro. And then serve with Mexican rice and beans, or salad, or all of that. Just fold it in. Okay, it's still too sticky. If you bat it in half, don't make tamale masa.
Hello.
Are we live?
Yep.
Oh.
Okay.
I can't grab the bag. We need a... Really?
We should.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Are you filming me?
Yes.
I started too soon. You know, they say that there's some recipes that you can't double. No, this is good. That's a good consistency. Now what you want to do is take a handful and spread it out on your corn husk. It's too sticky. that. Like that.